So we're gonna do a chit chat while I wrap gifts, because I felt like this was the only way for me to do this and still be productive. Not really sure why that's one by itself. So first I want to say my wrapping gifts consist of me getting boxes, putting the stuff in there and taping them. And so this video might seem a little disjointed because, you know, it's a possibility that some of the people who are getting these gifts might see their gift, and so I don't want that to happen. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do this without showing the gifts. It's gonna be very difficult, but stick with me. So a topic that I definitely wanted to discuss with you guys today is grieving during the holidays. So I know earlier this year, you know, I did a video on like how to support your loved ones that are grieving, and so I wanted to, you know, bring that back to the forefront for a moment, because this is probably the most difficult time for someone that is grieving, and it has a lot to do with you know, that person is not necessarily going to be present for the holidays. You know, it solidifies that person's absence. It makes it so real. You know, those meaningful moments that they miss, it becomes a lot more obvious to the family or whatever. And it's just one of those things that you just want to really, like, you want them to be present. You wish that it was, you want it to be a dream, you want it to be fake. You want to wake up and, you know, realize that surely this is a dream, surely this is fake, surely this isn't my life. And it just affirms the fact that as they missed this moment, like, they will miss so many more moments in your life or whatever. And so, you know, I guess for those individuals and for individuals that are supporting them, so for people that are still going through the grieving process, and then for those people who you know, are supporting them. And so I'll say for myself, Christmas is no longer difficult for me since, you know, losing my grandmother as a little girl. And I want to make that point so that, like, I can prove the difficulty of, like, grieving. So my grandmother died, like I told you guys, when I was 9. She passed away in 1999, and her birthday is December 22nd. And so I feel like her birthday always makes me sad, because it's like, dang, she's not here. Dang, she won't. Oh, y'all, no, I got this big behind, but whatever. You know, she's not here, she won't be here. It currently, for me, it reaffirms what she's missed, and then it also reaffirms, like, what she will miss in the past, which sucks. But I mean, what can I do? What can I do about that, right? And I think, like, for somebody like me that has been dealing with this for about 22 years, you know, I can say that it gets easier. I can say that, you know, it won't always be as difficult as it was the first Christmas. And, like, the reason that I even thought to have this conversation is because I remember the first Christmas after my grandmother passed away. So she passed away in, like, June of that year. So Thanksgiving was actually the first holiday without her, and then Christmas came after that or whatever. And, you know, I think we were definitely, my mom and I, we were definitely, you know, in our feelings, and, you know, we felt a certain kind of way about her not being present. But I also think that, like, the people in our lives made, like, such a difference, because and this is like a funny story now, but it definitely was not funny that day. So that Christmas, I promise you, we probably had like 5 or 6 invitations to several people's houses, because I guess they realized, oh, you know, this is their first holiday without her. We really need to, you know, make sure that we are surrounding them with love, blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, while that was great and we were very grateful for that, it was exhausting. And so by the time, you know, we arrived at our normal Christmas location, we were stuffed. We didn't want to eat, and it was just too much. Like, and then we got home and we realized this was too much. Like, we've done too much. I'm exhausted. And I'm saying all of that because let's see who is blowing me up. So I'm saying all that to say, you know, I get that you want them to feel included and thought of because you know that they're grieving, and maybe you personally feel like you can make them happy. But I'm here to tell you that you can't. And I'm also here to tell you that there's absolutely nothing that you could ever do that's going to change the trajectory of the experience that they're gonna have on the holidays. Like, and really, although this wasn't the truth for me, for some people, it can really make grieving difficult, because now here you are, you know, enjoying, and let's just use, for example, like maybe someone's mom passed away. Here you are inviting them over to your family's Christmas experience where you have your mom or your grandmother is actually present. And so, like, I know that it's not intentional, but you could very well be you know, kind of putting them in a difficult situation where they are reminded by their loss, and it's kind of thrown in their face in ways that they didn't even anticipate before they came over there. And again, it's not intentional on your end, but I'm just saying, like, just kind of, you know, think about it, or be considerate, but also, like, give them the space to decide what they want to decide. Like, they may just want to do, you know, their own thing. They may just want to chill. They may just want to, I don't know, not make it a thing. Like, maybe they're trying to be low-key. Just my point is, let them boys do what they need to do, and that might mean not taking you up on that offer to stop by, or not making it such a big deal to come over to your house or your family's house, or just be present. And here's the other thing, you know, there are other Christmas events. Like, you know, we plan Christmas parties with our friends, or y'all, I'm struggling. Oh, maybe that's why. We plan Christmas gatherings with our friends, and then, you know, we plan like Friendsgiving and stuff like that. And, like, don't start tripping on the boy if they be like, no, I ain't coming. Even though, you know, you want them to be there, like, the reminder of the holiday might be too much for them. And so I just kind of, like, I don't know, I want y'all to, like, think about it from the perspective of the person that experienced the loss. And again, I know that y'all don't really mean it like that. I know that that's not your intention, but it comes across like that. All right, y'all, so for all of the stuff that I just wrapped or put in a box, I'm gonna write who it's for, and then the remainder of the gifts I will be able to show, because, you know, They old people, they ain't watching us. So the other thing that I wanted to say is, when it comes to the people that you know are probably going to have it a little tough, you know, first and foremost, of course, always send up an extra little prayer for them, because they're going to need it. And then, you know, just try to be present for them, but give them the space to identify like how they want you to be present. And I know like that's kind of hard, because what if they ask you to be present in a capacity that you might not necessarily be, you know, all that comfortable with? I'm sorry, like, it's not really about you, and hopefully you are mature enough to understand that and not necessarily have an issue with it. So I feel like these boxes are technically too big, but I'm gonna use them anyway, because I don't feel like wrapping stuff. I know that's lazy, but whatever. But yeah, you know, that could possibly mean that unfortunately you're gonna have to do something that you don't want to do, or unfortunately you're going to have to meet them where they are. And I know that's not always comfortable, and I know that's not always ideal. Like, you know, you want to do something that is comfortable for you, but that might not necessarily be the kind of support that they need. And so what I would just suggest is just, you know, think about if that was you and how you would love for your friend to respond if in fact you did note that, you know, you wanted to be supported in a certain way and they didn't necessarily do that for you. So like, when you think about that kind of stuff, I think it makes it very simple for everybody to just conform and do whatever it is that, you know, they ask of you. And honestly, the gesture of being flexible goes much further than you probably think, simply because you know, they'll start to realize, you know, you didn't have to sacrifice your Saturday for me. And you know, sometimes it could even be as simple as much as you probably hate shopping in the crowds and being out the weekend before Christmas, maybe they haven't done their Christmas shopping because they've been avoiding it, because maybe that's something they did with their loved one that they can no longer do that with. I don't know, it's just so many reasons why it's easier for you to be supportive versus make it about you. Like, it's really not about you right now. And here's the other thing, if you also experience some level of a loss, then you know what, try to figure out ways that you both are able to support one another, because again, that is a way, this is very strange. I don't know what I was expecting these to look like, but that is not it. Anyways, you know, just kind of just be flexible, y'all. Like, I have seen people swear that they're trying to be supportive and they're trying to help somebody, and they're trying to just, you know, be there for someone, when in actuality they really aren't. Like, they are legitimately out here doing what they want to do and really not caring about like what somebody else needs. And I even think for people that are grieving, you know, they might need support today and then maybe they need to give it to someone else tomorrow. It just all depends on the person, because we all know that grieving is very specific to the person that we're talking about. Yeah, I'm about to put this small item in this big box because I refuse to wrap gifts. I'm not wrapping nothing if I don't have to. But yeah, you know, I just kind of feel like at this point, so many people have lost so many people, and I'll be honest with you, my mom actually called me today and she has told me about 2 people that have passed away in the last 2 days. So another thing that I want y'all to like really keep in mind is like, as you are out here in these streets, you know, shopping, last minute shopping, trying to get everything you need, and you know, you get frustrated because of X, Y, and Z, just make sure you give these people grace, because you have no idea what they're going through or what they're trying to combat. And your nice gesture in that store that day might be the difference between that person being able to push through, you know, that struggling emotional moment when they just want their family member back and they can't have them. Like, don't be the person that just continues the frustration and the emotional breakdowns and, like, you know, just changes the trajectory of their day when you really could have been the one that changed, well, I'm sorry, changes it in a negative way when you really could have been the one that changed it positively. I just hate that for people, and I hate that people are experiencing something such as grieving in a fashion to where they don't have anyone and they're struggling concerning this loss on their own. Like, I am grateful that I never had to experience a loss and just kind of be by myself when going through it, but I am finding that there are lots of people that go through that every day, and I empathize with them on a different level because I know what it feels like to grieve and have people, and it still hurts. So to have to do it and have no one, I just couldn't imagine. So, you know, as you are getting ready to spend time with your family and your loved ones, and you know, you haven't experienced a loss, cherish them too. Like, that's the other point of this particular video. Yes, I was wrapping gifts, and that's great, and I'm glad that I'm able to do these things for my family members, but you know, in my family we did experience a loss, and I know that Christmas will be a tad bit of grieving, and I'm here to be supportive to that extent. I'm here to give whatever kind of support I can give. And you know, again, like I said, you know, my grandmother's birthday is next week. It's right before Christmas, and it gets a little tough sometimes just because you know, I wish that she could have lived this long to see me do as much as I have done, and then just to see the things that 2022 have in store for me. Like, all I can do is talk to her through heaven's gates, or I guess God will lend me her ear from heaven so I can talk to her that way. But you know, it sucks to not have those precious memories in the current life, and just have to hold on to what did happen years ago, because I often, with Christmas, I often think about how, like, my granny would just sit and grin and watch me open my gifts and stuff like that. And you know, just to not have that. And then, like, I had an older cousin that was like a second grandma or third grandma, because my second grandma was my mama Ramsey. But my third grandma, you know, my granny and my mom would tell me that they were going to the North Pole to stand in line to tell Santa Claus about my Christmas list or whatever, and then we would make Christmas cookies. It was just this whole ordeal with all of these people that aren't here anymore, and so it makes a difference. I'm glad that I have been able to work through that, and I'm glad that I have been able to combat that, and I'm glad that it's not a daily struggle for me, but it doesn't mean that the emotions don't come back up from time to time. So if you are grieving, if you know someone that is grieving, I am praying for you. I am praying for your strength, and if you can, pray for someone else's, because we all need it in these days and times. Thanks so much for tuning in to this video. Of course, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more. Bye, y'all.